Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, whether you're tuning in on the radio dial in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM. We welcome you. Also, those joining us through our online affiliates around the world, we're glad to have all of you with us as well. Many people got to know our next guest because of the show The Face, but Afiya Bennett is a model and entrepreneur that's been able to not only do what she loves as a model, but to be able to show other people what's possible for them. A lot of great things have been going on in Afiya's life. We'll talk to her about her success, what it's been like for her to be an example to others as to how they can go after their own goals and dreams, but also, of course, the work that she's doing today. Afiya, hello to you and welcome to the program.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me today.
Hey, look, glad to have you on with us, Afiya. You know, I said to you before we began the segment, you know, it was a lot of fun prepping for the segment. Of course, I got to know you because of the show The Face, you know, but you are so much more than just a show. You're an individual who's been able to really build your own brand. People have seen you in magazines. Of course, they've seen you all over the Internet. What has it been like for you, Afiya, to be able to do what you love as a model, but also to be able to show other people what they can do in their own lives?
It's absolutely amazing. I think that for me, I know what it's like to be that little girl with a dream. And a lot of times, you know, whether it be your parents, whether it be your peers, it's easy to be discouraged from chasing your dreams. So I think what's so amazing is that, you know, I kind of went after it and I had the support of my family and I had the support of my friends. And even when it didn't happen overnight, that eventually the stars started to align perfectly.
Right.
And for me, if I could just give that to the next little girl behind me, that's really more important than anything.
Yeah. You know, I think, you know, for a lot of people, you know, as they kind of look at, you know, where they've come from and, of course, thinking about where they want to go, you know, it's great to be able to have the highlights, and you definitely have had your share of those. I mean, do you still have those pinch me moments for yourself, Afiya, when you kind of think about not only the things you've been able to do, but also the way that you've been able to really share your gift with the world?
Absolutely. I think for me, you know, I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. Although my family's from St. Thomas, I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. And a lot of times, even to people back home, I'm like the biggest deal. You know, they are definitely my support base and my fans. And for me, they follow everything. They're like, oh, we saw you in the Nike ad. We saw you in Rihanna's campaign. And, you know, when anything comes out, they are definitely the first people to send it to me. And I think that's so amazing because even those moments when you're discouraged and you can't see the light, the people supporting you and the people that keep you grounded constantly remind you why you even started and took that jump to begin with. So I think that's more amazing than anything. Like I said, I love being an inspiration to others behind me and others that follow my footsteps because I know what it's like to be that 15-year-old little girl reaching out for guidance and tips and help and, you know, just even someone to remind myself to say, if she did it, I can do it as well. You know, so I think it's it's an amazing position to be in, to give that to others and say, wow, like, you know, she's doing this and I knew her, I went to school with her, or I remember seeing her on The Face and I've seen how much she has grown from that. You know, being on national television, it's easy to, it's exciting initially, you know, being on national television is very exciting, but then as you look back on it and you see yourself, you see areas in which you need to grow, whether it be the way that you speak, the way you carry yourself, the way that you dress, you know, and then you'll look back on it 4 years back, 3 years back, and you say, wow, look how far I've come, and I didn't give up, I didn't quit. And so I think that's the bigger picture. I think that's definitely the bigger picture in showing that I'm much more than just that girl from that show.
Right. And you know, and you definitely are showing that you have staying power. Afiya, I have to say, you know, we all know what it's like to have supporters, but not everyone can say that they have Naomi Campbell and Tyson Beckford, you know, rooting for us in the work that we're doing. I mean, you know, I think the great thing, too, about you is that you've been able to not only, as you said, to show people what is possible, but you have been able to find individuals like Tyson Beckford, people like Naomi Campbell, who are a source of inspiration for you. Have you gotten used to, though, now being a source of inspiration for other people?
Ironically enough, I don't think that I think it's always when someone stops me in the street and they're like, oh my God, like I follow you on social media. Oh my God, I remember you from the face. Or, I think I'm always a little drawn back. Honestly, I don't think that it always sets in because in my everyday life, I still feel very, normal, just like everybody else. But when somebody says, oh my God, you inspire me so much, the fact that I'm able to touch someone else's life, it's beyond me. I love that. It reminds me, like I said, why I do this every day. And I love Naomi. I love Tyson Beckford. I remember when I first initially met Naomi, she said, I'm human just like me, just like you, and she said, treat me as such. And I think that was the basis of a beginning of an amazing mentorship. And I love Tyson as well. I love Tyson. I feel like I can text him or call him for advice, and Naomi as well, and they'll definitely respond and give me guidance in any way that I need it at the moment. But like I said, I think it's funny. Sometimes I might even just be walking in the street or someone will write me on Instagram like, oh, I just saw you, and I'm like, why didn't you say hi? Or even if someone says hi, it stops me. It's like, oh my God, like I know who you are, and it's just amazing. And I always take a picture. I always stop and give them some advice or some tips or a hug, because an embrace from someone that you look up to can go a long way. And they'll never forget that.
Oh, yeah, that's so true. We both mentioned the face, Afiya, and again, that's how a lot of people got to know who you were. I want to go to Facebook for a moment because on May 7th, 2014, you actually changed your cover photo on Facebook to this quote, I have what it takes. I want to talk about confidence for a moment.
Oh, my God, I love you. I love that you did your research and that you saw that, and it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed 3 years later.
Well, yeah, and I want to talk about that confidence because not everybody has that confidence in themselves that they do have what it takes to achieve their goals or to go from one place to another. How did you develop that confidence for yourself, Afiya?
Wow. I think that confidence came from wanting, honestly, to fit in, probably. I remember when I first started modeling, it was told to me, oh, there's no niche for models, your complexion. Or even in school, I was always taller than the other girls, and I always just wanted to fit in. And so I think that modeling kind of gave me or showed me a light where, okay, it's normal to be 5'10", 5'11". It's normal to be skinny. It's normal. And I saw modeling as a platform for me to be great. And I never let that slip my mind at any given point. And I think that for anybody, as well as myself, you might say to me, hey, this wall is blue, and I might be looking at a black wall, and you say to me, no, the wall is blue. And it doesn't mean that wall is not blue. It just might mean that I can't see it at that moment. So I think that you always have to approach things in life as just because you can't see it at that moment doesn't mean that that's not what it's going to be. And now to this day, you have supermodels like Joan Smalls, Jasmine Tookes, Jordan Dunn, supermodels that are my complexion that stand at the top of the modeling game. So like I said, at that moment in time when I initially began modeling, someone told me, oh, there's no niche for models, your complexion. Like, don't do it. You'll never be great. And now look, here we are, 3, 4, 5 years later, how much things have changed. So I think for me, you have to be your biggest fan. You have to see it before anybody. You have to believe in you more than anybody will ever believe in you. I think that's the only way that you will be great forever, like in anything. I think you have to have that assurance. You have to believe in yourself that much. That even when there are a billion people around you saying no, that you see it and you say, yes, this is going to happen. I think that's what that quote, yes, I have what it takes, stands for. And I think that's why I put it up because, like you said, I put it up there 4 years ago, and it's still there. We're about to walk into 2018 in a few months, and it's still there. Because like I said, even when I can't see it, having that quote up on my Facebook, it reminds me, every day, yes, you can do it. You will get there. You will achieve your goals and your aspirations, and it will happen. So like I said, I think you have to believe in yourself 10 times more, 100 times more than anybody will. And I think that you have to see it even when other people say no and even when other people don't see it. I've gotten a million no's in my careers, but even the moments of yes makes those no's worth it. And I know when people hear that, they get told that all the time. But coming from somebody that has been told, oh, your shoulders are too broad, or, you can only do fitness, or you can only do this. And I'm like, no, it's not. No, they're not. No, I'm not. And saying, okay, I can be great. I will be great. These things will happen, and working every day towards my goals and never losing sight of that.
Right. I think that's it. That's the great thing. We're going to talk more about that, Afiya. I want to say for those who are just tuning in, either on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. We're excited to welcome Afiya Bennett to our program today. Afiya is a model and entrepreneur who's been able to not only do what she loves, but also, of course, to be a source of inspiration. We've been talking a lot about that in this segment to other people. And I really got from when I was prepping for your segment, Afiya, one of the reasons why I want to mention that quote and why I'm about to mention a post from Instagram. You seem to be a glass half full type of individual, that you always look at the positive instead of what we don't have. I think that is something that is definitely acquired, because so many times I think, we forget about what we've done, and we only think about sometimes or focus on the things that didn't happen, or the milestones we didn't hit. In May of this year, of course, you made the back of InStyle magazine with the JCPenney promotion. You wrote this on Instagram, and I thought this was, again, a great way to look at things. You posted the picture, but you said, not the front cover, but I'm happy to grace the back cover, one step closer. And I think that is the way that so many people should look at themselves. What is it that kind of keeps you looking at things that way and not saying, I didn't make the front cover?
Honestly, God. I'm not sure if you're a spiritual person, but I stay prayed up.
Yeah.
And I think I just have to be completely honest with you, because I think the industry that I'm in, it's, you have to find the optimism and positivity. You have to find the light in dark situations, or you have to find the light in situations, because I think a lot of times we can be so focused on the things that we don't have, or the things that we haven't gotten yet, that we miss the blessings that God has put directly in front of us. And so I think, for me, it's kind of like, it's not losing sight of the end goal, not at all. You should never lose sight of the end goal. But you have to be very aware of the blessings right in front of you. And you have to be very appreciative of progress, because progress, whether big or small, is still progress. So for me, yes, it's not the front cover. And honestly, when I shot that ad, I didn't know that it was going to be on the back of a magazine. I had no idea. Of course, I've been in several magazines, but I had no idea that it would be the back. And so it kind of says, okay, good job, pat on your back. You're one step closer. It's not where you want to be, but it's not where it's not where you began either. So you're one step closer to where you want to be, but you've made progress from where you were. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like I said, I definitely think my relationship with God and staying prayed up and praying in the midst of situations, and finding that optimism. You have to find the light, and you have to find the light in a lot of dark situations, or not even dark. Sometimes it's just you need a moment of encouragement. You need a moment of, okay, like show me that I'm on the right path. And I think when I need that, something always comes out. I swear. So when I need a moment of encouragement, or I need a lifting up, or something, something comes out, an ad I didn't know was coming out. Honestly, I had my first billboard in Times Square earlier this year in February. I had no idea that when I shot that it was going to end up on a billboard in New York and in LA. I had no clue, not the slightest idea. So I think that for me, my relationship with God, when I get discouraged, I say a little prayer. God, I need a sign right now. I need a sign that I'm on the right path, that I need a level of encouragement right now. And so I think that He always sends that right on time. And I think it's easy to pray. I want gold. I want this. I want to be, an angel one day. I want to be a Victoria's Secret angel one day. I want, to grace the cover of Vogue one day. But I think that when I need a sign, it always shows up. And the sign could be something small, like someone coming up to me in the street and saying, oh, my God, I see the work that you're doing. It doesn't go unnoticed. That could be a sign. Or it could be as big as a billboard. So whether it's a small sign or a big sign, when they're necessary, they definitely show up.
For sure. I'm glad you mentioned Vogue. That brings up another thing that I noticed, Afiya, when I was prepping for this segment. Last year you did and I promise you I'm not stalking you. I want to be very clear.
No, this is amazing. This is like so amazing. Okay. I love how you did your research.
Yeah, but last year you did a YouTube video and you used the hashtag #AskAfiya, and you actually answered 10 questions during that video. And in that video you mentioned Vogue, of course, that being one of your aspirations. But I mentioned to you before we began the segment, the thing that really struck my attention outside of what your goals were, what the work you want to do for other people. I think it's a great tie-in to your faith. So I want to ask the question this way: I mean, do you think your faith is also what keeps you humble? Because humility and fame is not always known to go hand in hand. But do you think your faith is one of the things that kind of keeps you grounded?
Absolutely. I think my faith, my family, and where I'm from, and my beginning, and where I know where I would like to see myself and where I am, and I never lose sight of that. But absolutely, my faith, my family. I grew up in the church. I grew up in Brooklyn, and even, when I go back to Brooklyn and I see the little kids, my dad, he always makes me speak at Career Day at whatever school he's at each year. I always speak at Career Day, and just seeing them. And I was once that little girl, and I never lose sight of that. I never, ever lose sight of that. Definitely my faith and my family, my friends, because like I said, I have celebrity friends and I have regular friends too. I think of keeping a balance between your work life and your normal life definitely keeps me grounded, as well as my faith. So like I said, you can have, I can call Naomi, or I can call Tyson, or, I can call my celebrity friends, or I can call, my best friend that I grew up with, my best friend that I went to middle school with, my best friends that I went to church with and have known me since diapers. And sometimes just speaking with them, it keeps you grounded because it shows you this is the real Afiya. This is, who I am. They know me before anything, and they knew me before I was signed. They knew me before, any magazines. I even have a good friend of mine. So funny. We used to leave school and go to open calls. I used to make her come with me. This is before I was signed to my agency. And I would say, oh, my God, I want to be a model. Can you come with me to this open call? And she would say, yes, absolutely. And we would literally run out of school because I think the open call was at 3:30 and we got out of school at 2:50. And she would come with me. So now she sees me at this point where she's getting emails for Nike, and it's me in every email. She's seeing me on billboards and, on Rihanna's website. Wow. And she's like, wow, this is the same girl that used to drag me with her to open calls, and granted, that at that moment, who would have known that me just taking that leap and that leap of faith and that jump and putting myself out there would have transpired into who I am today, but it did. And I think that, like I said, for me, leading by example means more than anything. Definitely leading by example. So for me, I've always kind of put myself out there and pushed myself to, like I said, even to this day, with everything that I've done, I love to test shoot. I love working with new photographers. I love creating, because at the end of the day, modeling is a craft. This is my way of being creative. So, just not losing sight of that, and absolutely. So.
Yeah, and I think that there's a lot that people can learn from that, Afiya, and not losing oneself in it. And I think that is what you've been able to master for sure and continue to be able to do each and every day. And that's something, again, we can take away. So, as we come to a close here, and it's been a great conversation with you, I have to say, I really want to thank you for the time. When it comes to encouraging other people, and I know that you have other goals you've set for yourself. You've reached, amazing milestones for yourself. But as you kind of think about the what's next, do you hope people, when they think about Afiya Bennett, that they think about the fact that really with hard work, dedication, and faith, that anything is possible for them?
It absolutely is, without a doubt. I think if I were to leave a bit of advice for everyone out there with a dream, it would be to study your craft. Because there were many days that I got up and I said, how can my next photo shoot be better than the one I did today? You know, what are these agencies looking for? What are these designers looking for? How can I perfect my walk? You know, how can I perfect my workout so that my body is better? How can I perfect my skin, my hair? You know, little things. Work on myself, taking speech lessons. How can I work on my craft so that I'm a better model, that I'm a better person, that I am a better brand to everyone behind me? Because like I said, I think that if the next little girl can see me and say, I can do it because she did it, that's enough for me. I've accomplished what I came into this modeling industry to do, because I felt like when I was younger, I was looking for that.
Right. Well, it's a great thing, and you definitely are doing that, Afiya, just by example, not just by words, but by your actions, and that's the important thing for sure. Again, everyone, Afiya Bennett has been our guest. Again, great conversation with you, Afiya. Let our audience know how they can stay connected with you and kind of keep up with the journey as it unfolds for you.
You can definitely follow me on social media at Afiya Bennett. So that's at AFIYA Bennett, BENNETT, and that's on all social media platforms as well as on my blog, AfiyaBennettblog.com.
Afiya, again, congratulations to you, continued blessings to you, and looking forward to our next conversation together.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. This was so amazing. You're amazing. This is all amazing.
Well, thank you. Look, I appreciate that. Thank you. You're more than welcome. We definitely thank our good friend Zach Tepperman for setting up this conversation with us for today. I want to thank all of you for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. If you all came in late, you missed part of the conversation with Afiya, don't worry. Thanks to our online friends, you all can catch the replay right after we go off the air. The link is already available through our social media site. So head over to Facebook.com/Cyrus Webb or go over to Twitter.com/Cyrus Webb. If you click on the link there, you can listen to the show completely for free and share with your friends from there too. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Make sure you take out time to enjoy some good music as well as a great book. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live today. You will make it a great one.